Today's world is not full of easy problems.
Global recession,
terrorists,
sustainability,
energy,
the economy,
healthcare and medicine,
poverty,
national security.
We know the climate is changing, and we don't know what our response should be now and what it will be in the future.
We're not turning out enough engineers and scientists. Yet we're going to ask the engineers and scientists to solve our problems in the future.
This generation of students, they're seeing the problems that the world is facing, and they're convinced that they need to be the ones to fix this. And they're constantly challenging us to provide new opportunities, novel opportunities, to give them the tools and the knowledge to make that difference, to solve those problems.
We know how to build things at Stevens. We know how to solve problems. We understand the fundamentals of putting together components of various types of technologies to solve a real-world customer problem.
You want to learn from the faculty member who wrote the book. In the Stevens graduate programs, we have those leaders.
What are the real problems? What could our students work on that has a meaning for them? Therefore, directly relates to business and to where the students are going to go when they leave here.
We're exposing them to new ideas, to the ways in which what they learn has relevance to the everyday world.
We do cooperative research with corporations. We do a great deal of research with the federal government in many, many areas. A lot of sponsored research that helps us understand the fundamental problems that the world is trying to solve. It's students thinking about not just the technical ideas, but the business opportunity and how they're solving a problem that could have value to somebody.
Ask yourself who's in charge of the healthcare system in the United States. The Systems Engineering Research Center was set up to allow us to research problems of that nature. The more we can mimic reality in the classroom, the better we prepare our students to become leaders.
A lot of the faculty that we have at Stevens are people who are working full-time. So they get to give you real-life examples, which makes it so much more interesting rather than just going through, bookish knowledge or theory.
What we do here at the Maritime Security Lab is really work on different sensors and different technologies for the sake of the security of the coastlines here at New York, but it's applicable to everywhere around the country.
Cat Eyes is a LiDAR, laser, and high-speed camera combination that could scan a 15-acre site in about an hour and be converted to a CAD drawing that an engineer can use. It was actually created under a contract for the military with a robot attached to it so that the troops would see exactly what kind of buildings and terrain they were going into.
In part because of our location, we are able to attract a really diverse set of students, some of whom are full-time employees in government agencies or in Fortune 500 companies, others who are here full-time to pursue a PhD degree.
There's so many things going on here in New York City, right there in front of the school. So, these professors, they have great contacts outside. They have all these opportunities coming up and they need people, and Stevens, that's what they provide.
What I found different about Stevens as a graduate school is that they make it student dependent, and they gave me a lot of elbow room to explore, figure out for myself where my interests lie.
At the Stevens DC location, we've taken the Stevens experience and in a lot of ways enhanced it. You have the added benefit of being in a classroom surrounded by students from Washington, D.C. area companies and government agencies.
Stevens also has graduate certificate programs, so even if you're not doing a full graduate load, you can complete a certificate just by taking 4 classes that also apply directly to your job. So it's like a mini master's degree.
We find that a lot of students get jobs via these contacts they make in our graduate courses. That by itself is a learning experience and a networking experience that I don't think you find everywhere.
I think if we turn out more Stevens graduates and people like them, I think the future is a lot better than it would be.
Keep an open mind and be creative. Follow your heart and you'll be surprised how many new things open up.
How does this impact the world? How does your project do something for somebody somewhere?
And if you can answer that question and put some sort of a value or a metric on it, it really gives what you're doing much more power.
My company is constantly looking for someone to think outside the box, to be innovative, and Stevens really does challenge you to do so.
Combination of our small size, our focus, and our location is something that is not duplicated anywhere else in the world.
It's a remarkable rush when one of your students takes on the position of a chief engineer.
It makes them a much more valuable person for large corporations, or if they want to go out and start their own enterprise.
I'm finding myself knowing more about the customer, knowing more about the negotiations simply because I started this program.
You want to be noticed in the world and you want to make a difference to whatever you do. The year I spent at Stevens, I figured out what I wanted to be.